Happy Wednesday, everyone. I trust and hope that everybody's having a great week. All right, we're moving on with this this collaboration. So this one, I'm going to make the announcement on it, and I'm super excited about doing this. It's not a real complicated sign, but I am going to do some elements here that I haven't done before as far as putting all these kinds of elements together. This logo may look familiar to you. This is the back wall of Peter Brown, who is amazing. The guy, and it's kind of, I guess it's kind of appropriate since Vicki and I are doing a resin challenge. This guy is amazing.
I got the idea.
Yeah, the guy is amazing when it comes to resins. So, I reached out to Peter and he said, yeah, he'd love to have a sign to replace. Every time he does his outro kind of in front of this back wall where it kind of shows. And so he wants a sign to replace that because that's done in vinyl. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what this board is all about. And I've actually started kind of the roughness of the layout on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right back. I left my primer inside, so we're going to come right back and we're going to get this thing laid out and get to carving it. Okay, so I've kind of pre-done this layout here. I was fortunate in that on his logo, the lettering is, I recognized it as a Cooper black font. We actually had that in the laser. So I went ahead and cut the letters that I wanted, and then the actual subscribed logo, I just cut a square and put a triangle in it, and I think that will work as far as my layout goes. Now the way I lay this out, in case you guys are watching and haven't watched me lay out a sign before, I always want balance from left to right and from top to bottom. So what I did was basically I made my lines. This looked about balanced to me, so I made a line there, and then I put this where I wanted it to go, and then I used my square and I made another line there. So now I know that I've got the same space there as I do there. I did the same thing from end to end. Now on this end, I'm going to actually have a frame. Notice on his logo, he's got a black frame around the subscribe button. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of giving it away, but I'm going to make a black frame and put LED lights in it. So you guys will see that process as well. So I'm going to make my frame underneath out of 3/4 inch. So I just use this, oh, darn it. Stinking wind. That's the one drawback about being outside is we get a breeze out here once in a while. But anyway, so I needed to give myself an extra 3/4 inch spacing over here. So now I know I'm balanced left to right. I'm going to make these letters inset. Actually everything is going to be inset except for the actual triangle. That's going to be outset. But I'm going to do a special pattern on it. So I've got pretty much everything that I need on there. Now the one thing on this Cooper Black style is if you look at the actual font, see how everything, for me, I have a kind of a phobia about everything being square. Well, the center of the O is kind of off at an angle a little bit, so that's something to really be aware of if you're going to be doing anything with Cooper Black letters. Because my internal thing says that needs to be straight up and down, but that's not correct for the actual letter itself. Let me see, is that upside down? I don't think there is an upside down on the O, but that does look a little bit better. Anyway, so I'm going to make these letters inset black. I'm going to make this inset red, and then the white on the triangle. So I pretty much am set to spray here. I'm using the primer on this spray for the layout. Hopefully the wind won't be bothering us too much. We've got a little breeze going on, but this is monsoon type season, so in the afternoons the wind really comes up, but we're doing this hopefully early in the morning that we won't have any big winds today. this morning at least. Hope I'm not spraying my shirt black. All right, and then I'll spray this. Anyway, I want to thank Peter. I'm going to thank him all the way through this process, but thank Peter for the opportunity to make him sign. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I lost that line there. So we'll have to draw that in. But it did leave me just a faint line there. Oops, get it square. All right, there we go. That's my triangle. All right, so we'll go ahead and let this dry for a few minutes, and we'll be right back and we'll get into carving. All right, folks, let's get to carving. So here's what we're going to do first. We're going to use the profile bit, and I'm going to do the inside of the box. I'm going to profile the outside of the triangle, and then I'm going to profile the inside of the inset letters. Now, normally I would use, for inset, normally speaking, I use a 60 degree, but in this particular instance, I want a lot of background inside my inset letters, and I'll show you why when I get to it. But I'm going to go ahead and use the profile bit. Just one special note, it's a good thing that we are not broadcasting smell-o-vision, because out here beyond us happens to be where the pigs like to do their thing. So just be thankful that we don't have smell-o-vision.
I did not have to say that.
I know. I just thought it was funny. Anyway, all right, here we go. Well, guys, change of plans. I don't know if you could tell, but that carving through that pine was a little bit tough. That's kind of a tough board, and I realized that it's been probably 30 or 40 signs since I've sharpened this profile bit. So I'm going to sharpen my bit, and then we are going to come right back. All right, I got that cutter a little bit sharper, so I think it'll be a little bit better. But you noticed that's one of the reasons, guys, that I kind of, unless I really know what the board is going to cut like, I generally stay away from the line a little bit just till I know exactly how that board's going to cut. But anyway, that's one of the reasons I do it. So let's get this done. All right, so I've got pretty much the profiling done. Guys, that's all I'm gonna do for today because it really took an extra long time to do this. It's been a long time since I carved a board this squirrely. I had forgotten what it's like having a board that was really, really tough to carve. This one is very tough to carve, but I'll show you one of the main reasons. And if you guys that have been carving for a while, if you're like me, you would agree that it's not that difficult to carve a hard board. It's not that difficult to carve all soft board. But when you've got a combination of soft and hard, that's where it's tough to hold a straight line. So look at the grain on the end of this board. Of these boards, you got grains going every which way. I mean, yeah, it's been really difficult, and that really makes a difference. Now I know when you're laminating a board like that, a lot of people, a lot of furniture makers say it's good to alternate grains. I never look at that, to be honest with you. I just don't worry about that. Boards never come apart for me, and so I don't worry about that too much. But anyway, this one is really a challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and on the next video, on Friday's video, we're going to get the rest of this carving done and get as much done as we can. In the meantime, another thing that I want to do is I'm going to tack on the end of this video right away. I'm going to tack another little thing that I filmed with my phone the other day. And it is, it's in regards to modifying some layout, if some layout doesn't look the way you want it to. So that'll just be, I think it's about a 1.5-minute clip that I'm going to tack onto the end of here that I hope it will be useful for you. So that is it for today, guys. Again, I'm really excited about doing this for Peter. I didn't realize this was going to be quite that difficult to carve, but I love a challenge. So anyway, guys, hope you guys have a great week. Please give us a thumbs up and share if you like this video. We'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Check out Instagram, Make a Wood Sign on Instagram. I'm posting cool stuff on there every day. And hope you guys are enjoying your week, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Hey guys, this is just a real quick tip for you. I'm just making this little sign. This is a customer's order that I gotta get done and ship out of here. But if you take a look at that arrow, Vicky made that little layout template for me for that arrow, and I really like it, but I didn't think the middle part here was quite thick enough. I wanted it a little bit wider. So I told her, just go ahead and cut it. You don't have to mess with it. So what I did, and if you can look, I'm going to try and get an angle. I just drew lines on there with my pencil and my yardstick just to make it a little bit fatter. So when I carve it, I'm going to follow those lines and just make it as fat as I want to. So the reason I'm even making this video is just to let you guys know if some aspect of your layout doesn't look right to you, just modify it yourself. You know, it's not a matter of having to follow each and every specific line. Just modify it however you want. If I wanted that point to come out further, or if I wanted this part, the feather part, to be wider, I would just use my straight edge and just modify it. Hey, Mag. What are you doing? Mag. Anyway, I would just modify it how I wanted it to look. So I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day, and there was something about a layout that he wasn't really happy with. So I just said, just take a pencil or a pen so you can see the line and modify it how you want. You're the sign carver. If it doesn't look right to you, then just modify it. And that's something that kind of, I know at the very beginning it is kind of nervous and kind of nerve-wracking. But as you go along, what's going to happen, guys, is you'll get more comfortable with being able to do that kind of thing yourself. So again, I still use layout letters all the time, and I use my printouts and all that. But if something doesn't look quite right to me and it's something simple, just modify it yourself. Anyway, guys, just thought that might be of help. Have a good one. Bye.